Welcome back to the channel, Culers. Big breaking news is coming straight from Camp Nou, and you don't want to miss it. From major transfer developments and sponsorship breakthroughs to the futures of Luis Diaz, Ter Stegen, and some of Barcelona's brightest young stars, it's all happening. In today's update, we cover the €40 million Congo sponsorship deal, Deco's obsession with Luis Diaz, Flick's youth revolution, and whether Pedro Fernandez could be the next big La Masia gem. Let's dive right into the latest Barcelona headlines. FC Barcelona players returned to training this week, but activity behind the scenes at the club has never stopped. Club executives have been working intensely to secure new revenue streams to address the current financial challenges, with a clear objective: to return to La Liga's 1:1 rule and regain full freedom to operate in the transfer market. Sponsorship agreement in sight with Congo. Now, Sport reports that Barcelona are closing in on finalizing a sponsorship agreement worth €40 million with the Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC. Over the past few months, several meetings have taken place with potential sponsors to evaluate the feasibility of different commercial agreements. Many of these discussions have been ruled out for various reasons. However, the deal with the Republic of the Congo has progressed well and is entering the final stages of negotiations. The deal would see Barcelona include the slogan RDC, Cœur de l'Afrique, translates to DRC, the heart of Africa, on one of the club's kits. On May 19, the Congolese Minister of Sports and Leisure, Didier Budimbu, visited Barcelona and held a meeting with senior club executives. Accompanied by his team, he also toured the Ciutat Esportiva facilities and personally presented the project, which was received with interest by the Barcelona board. The agreement is expected to bring approximately €40 million into the club's finances. According to the report, negotiations are in an advanced stage, and an official announcement could be made as early as next week, before the start of the pre-season tour. The revenue will be a big boost for the La Liga champions as they aim to return to the 1:1 fair play rule, which will allow them to operate with greater freedom in the market. It is no secret that Luis Diaz was a favorite of Barcelona sporting director Deco when the club started the search for a new left winger this summer. But the attention switched to Nico Williams briefly. But after yet another failed attempt to bring in the athletic club star, it was thought that Barcelona would push hard for the pursuit of the Liverpool winger. However, that has proven to be difficult so far, with Barca reportedly being priced out of a move for the Premier League forward. The Catalans, though, have not lost hope, especially knowing that the player himself is keen on playing for the Blaugrana. Deco's still crazy about signing Diaz. According to Fabrizio Romano, Deco remains determined to sign Luis Diaz this summer. He is, in fact, crazy about signing the Colombian forward. Romano adds that Barcelona remain in contact with Diaz's agent, hoping to convince the player's representative to try and force a move away from Liverpool. It was reported recently that the Reds are interested in signing Real Madrid star Rodrigo, which in turn could play a key role in Diaz's sale this summer. However, there are a lot of ifs and buts involved. Not to mention, Barcelona will continue to face stiff competition from Bayern Munich, who are also in contact with the player's agent. The Bavarians have had a disastrous summer so far, with Jamal Musiala injured while the club have failed in the pursuit of top targets such as Florian Wirtz and Nico Williams. That is why Bayern are desperate to sign Luis Diaz, even though the club's latest offer was firmly rejected by the Reds. Barcelona do have an advantage as the player is keen on playing for the Catalans, but unless they can reach an agreement with Liverpool, a move may not take place. A headline member of the summer transfer wishlist at La Liga giants Barcelona has this week come in for a big money offer from elsewhere on the continent. That's according to market insider David Ornstein of The Athletic, who points towards Luis Diaz as the player in question. The name of Wideman Diaz has of course re-emerged as an altogether prominent one in the headlines in Catalonia's capital over the last couple of weeks. This comes after the Barcelona brass shifted their focus back towards the Colombian international, after coming up short in their pursuit of athletic club standout Nico Williams. The Blaugrana are not the only European heavyweight keen on Diaz, with German champions Bayern Munich also boasting a long-term interest. And as alluded to above, on Tuesday, has much culminated in a hefty proposal on the part of the Bavarians. As per a report from journalist David Ornstein, Bayern Munich have submitted a formal proposal to sign winger Luis Diaz from Liverpool. The 28-year-old Colombia international has emerged as a top target for Bayern, and their first official proposal arrived on Tuesday. It was worth €67.5 million. Significantly, however, it is also noted that Liverpool immediately rejected the bid. This comes with the Anfield brass having made clear that they have absolutely no intention of sanctioning Diaz's sale this summer. Much has been made of Marc-Andre Ter Stegen's situation at Barcelona over the last few weeks, with the club captain having been replaced as starting goalkeeper for the 2025-26 season. Joan Garcia and Wojciech Szczesny are Hansi Flick's options going forward, which means that the German is in a tricky situation. Flick told Ter Stegen last week that he will almost certainly not play for Barcelona next season, but despite this, the 33-year-old is determined to stay and force his way into contention. The club want him to leave, but he is under no obligation to seek an exit, given that his contract runs until 2028. Ter Stegen has options to leave, and according to German football legend Lothar Matthäus, he should take one of them, as he told Bild, via MD. He has to leave, he won't play there again. I understand Ter Stegen. He has played well, he has been captain and he has his life in Barcelona. But he has to accept it. Barcelona have other ideas, other plans. These are decisions that must be accepted. There is no need to complain, it is part of football. It is not an isolated incident. It's not Hansi Flick, it's Barcelona. And nothing is bigger than the club, and that also applies to Barcelona. Ter Stegen has a big decision to make. It must remember that a World Cup year has now started, with the next tournament taking place in North America next summer. As things stand, Ter Stegen will be Germany's starter, but that could change if he's sidelined for the entirety of the 2025-26 season. Barcelona are hoping that Ter Stegen relents once the gravity of that situation kicks in, but for now he is still looking to remain at the club he joined over a decade ago. However, that stance could change in the coming weeks. Barcelona goalkeeper Marc-Andre Ter Stegen has been told to leave the club if he wants to feature for Germany at World Cup 2026. Marc-Andre Ter Stegen has apparently been informed that he is no longer the first-choice goalkeeper at Barcelona, especially following the signing of Joan Garcia. Despite this major setback, the German shot-stopper is reportedly not ready to give up. Instead, he's determined to remain at the club and fight for his position, even as his future grows increasingly uncertain. Rather than seeking a move away, Ter Stegen seems committed to proving his worth to manager Hansi Flick, hoping to regain his starting role. His stance reflects a deep connection to the club and a strong belief in his ability, despite the clear shift in the team's goalkeeping plans. Former Bayern and Germany legend Lothar Matthäus has offered some advice to Ter Stegen and told him it's time to move on. In my opinion, Ter Stegen will not play for Barca again. He needs to play to achieve his dream of participating in the World Cup. If he wants to play in the World Cup, he should leave, he said, as reported by Marca. I understand, Ter Stegen. He performed well, was a team captain and has his life in Barcelona, but he must accept his fate now. The club has other ideas and different plans. These are decisions that must be accepted. There's no need to complain as this is part of football. There is nothing and nobody bigger than the club. Marc-Andre Ter Stegen has reported back to FC Barcelona for pre-season preparations, but notably he's been training separately from the main group. His isolated sessions have raised eyebrows, and while the official explanation points to a back issue, the real reason may lie deeper in the club's shifting plans. Despite being informed that he is no longer the club's first-choice goalkeeper following the arrival of Joan Garcia, Ter Stegen remains determined to stay and compete for his place. However, Barcelona's stance seems firm, with the coaching staff and board both leaning towards a new direction in goal. Although the situation remains unresolved, it's been reported that clubs such as Galatasaray and AS Monaco are showing interest in the German goalkeeper. Whether or not a transfer materializes, the message from the club is clear. No individual is bigger than FC Barcelona, and tough decisions, like this one, are part of football's reality. With the World Cup approaching in 2026, Ter Stegen faces a crucial decision about his future if he wants to maintain his spot in Germany's starting 11. For now, he remains at the club, but the coming weeks could be pivotal. FC Barcelona is expected to make some kind of statement signing this summer transfer window. After all, considering the stature of the club, they need to make a signing of an equal or respectable standing. However, Barcelona are facing some issues on that end. Considering the club's financial limitations and unwillingness to take a bold step too early, it seems increasingly likely that Barca could struggle with other transfer targets as well. On that front, progression just does not look quite positive, all things considered. After all, even targets like Luis Diaz are now actively being targeted by the likes of Bayern Munich. However, if there is always a saving grace for Barcelona, it is the simple fact that they have some of the most talented youngsters in the world. Even after losing the likes of Ousmane Dembele when he finally started to find a resurgence, Barca did not feel that loss too badly due to Lamine Yamal's emergence. Now, as they head towards next season, a unique kind of talent already caught Hansi Flick's eye at the end of last season. Hansi Flick's chosen gem dazzles in Barcelona training. According to Mundo Deportivo, 17-year-old attacking midfielder Pedro Fernandez was the youngster who dazzled in the team's latest first-team training session for pre-season preparation. In fact, it is thanks to his elegance on the ball that he is standing out, and he seems to be proving Flick right about him. In terms of his style of play, the Nigeria-born youngster is seen as being a dazzling and magnetic player. Moreover, MD has highlighted that he possesses great versatility given that he is able to operate effectively as a false nine, central midfielder, or even as a winger if needed. Nicknamed DRO. This name given to the young player has enabled him to differentiate himself from the other Pedros in the youth teams. Despite his young age, the report also highlights his refined technique, ability to play efficiently with less touches, and his strong dribbling ability that allows him to get past players and find good options. A unique multitude of qualities to offer. Interestingly, he is also a strong free-kick taker, and such a profile is currently missing from the first team considering their low conversion rate from such set pieces. Furthermore, his elegance is matched with an ability to be a box destroyer, given that he can time his runs well when making late runs into the box. Currently working on developing his physicality as well, the player wants to pair it up with his technical mastery. Fortunately, there is no additional pressure on the player from Barcelona and he is being allowed to grow on his own. Now, his objective remains clear enough considering that he wants to impress during the preseason tour. He is one of the youngsters expected to play a part in this ongoing preseason, and he will definitely want to fight for opportunities. However, he is not the only youngster aiming to seize the spotlight this preseason. As Barcelona continue their search for a dynamic winger to bolster their attacking options, several youth prospects have emerged as potential solutions. Among them, one young forward has clearly distinguished himself with standout performances. This promising talent has not only showcased exceptional pace and dribbling ability but also demonstrated a keen understanding of the tactical demands required at the highest level. With the first-team staff closely monitoring his progress, he is now considered one of the top contenders to fill the wide role that Barcelona have been trying to strengthen. So, Culers, it's clear that things are heating up behind the scenes at Camp Nou, with Hansi Flick driving change, Deco chasing top talents, and Barcelona working around the clock to bring financial stability and elite signings to the club. Will the Congo sponsorship be the boost needed to secure Luis Diaz? Will Pedro Fernandez rise as the next superstar? And what does the future hold for Marc-Andre Ter Stegen? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more updates on all things Blaugrana. Visca el Barça.